What up, my good people? Hey, y'all. Welcome to another episode of the Convicted to Grow podcast. Thank you for tuning in once again. I'm your girl, Coach Tressa, motivational speaker, confidence, and business coach. My goal is to empower you to elevate, whether it's your life and business. Why? Because growth is a daily thing. This podcast is designed to bring you not only just everyday practical strategies, but real life stories of everyday people from all walks of life who share how they overcome adversity, transformation, innovation, building confidence, as well as entrepreneurship. So I'm excited. So thank you again. Make sure you click on the subscribe button for future episodes. So now let me go ahead and get into it. My next guest, he is a coach, motivational speaker, a husband, and definitely a great friend as well. He is also a CEO, entrepreneur. I mean, I can go on and on and on. Please give me a warm shout out to none other than Ed Chappell, also known as Ed Speaks Global.
Oh
Hey,
man,
friend.
Tressa, what up? What up? Oh man, like first of all, I want to just go ahead and get rolling. Like I want to just say, I'm super excited to be here. I'm super honored to be a part of this movement. I don't know if a lot of people see. A lot of people might not know you in the capacity that I know you, right? So I don't know if they know that what you're giving people an opportunity to be a part of is going to be history because you're going straight to the top. I love everything you're doing. Convicted to Grow is on the way, and I'm super excited to be a part of it. So, look, I'm so excited. Thank you for having me as a guest. Absolutely.
Y'all, listen, let me tell you something. When I did a pre-call with him, first of all, I met Ed last year at the Next Level Speakers Conference. Shout out to that dope community out there of like-minded
Yeah, yeah.
speakers and coaches that really truly want to see each other win. And so that's how I met him and his lovely wife. And when I had a pre-call, I just want to let you know, he told me up front, he said, y'all, he said, Tressa, get your popcorn ready. Because whenever I speak to Ed, I feel like I got to have a notebook beside me because I told y'all before at the beginning of this podcast, make sure you have a Convicted to Grow notebook because if there's
Absolutely.
anything I say or my guests say, write it down, especially if it resonates with your spirit. So he said, get your popcorn ready. And of course, I'm trying to watch what I ain't getting no popcorn, but y'all, I got my fruit snacks
There
ready.
you
So
go. Hey, them sugar free, right? Uh,
okay, so what had happened was why you put me on why you put me on blast? I do have sugar free, but just
okay.
listen, see,
It's
just
okay.
tell y'all get ready, get
Hey,
ready, get ready.
little by little.
Right. I know, right? But y'all, when you start seeing me eat a fruit snack, because he's dropping a gem. So, how are you feeling?
Well, first of all, I mean, I'm here in South Carolina. It's beautiful outside. It's sunny. We're probably looking at about 70 degrees today. So, yeah, I'm feeling great. You know what I mean? I feel great. I'm excited. Um, spent this last, 7 to 8 months really locking in the gym, getting healthy. Lost about 34 pounds so far. So I'm just really, really excited for where God is projecting me next and what's happening next in my life. This is truly the year of extreme change, and I'm excited for what happens next. So I'm feeling great, Tress. I'm feeling great.
Listen, we might have to bring you back for part two on the extreme change. You said you lost 34 pounds?
Yep, about 30. Yep, almost 34 pounds now. Yep.
Oh my God.
So
Congratulations.
I went from 272 to around 241, 242.
All in this year.
Oh yeah, it's been like 7 months.
Oh wow, man.
Yeah,
Listen. Ooh, extreme change. And we're gonna get more into that as well.
yeah, for
But
sure.
let's just go ahead. And like I told y'all before, y'all, I'm not a podcast me, so we always gonna go with the flow until I figure out what's gonna stick for the next season. Okay. So Ed, share a little bit about your background.
Nah, yeah, absolutely. So, for me, I'll kind of go back to my childhood, kind of go back to my family's background, kind of a little bit of that, right? Grown up, single mother, watching her do everything she can to make sure she raised me right. I was only child, a mom trying to raise a son on her own. I watched her pray for resources. I watched her go out and work hard all day. I watched her have to leave me with my grandparents while she went out and worked and came back, changed my clothes in the morning so I can get ready for school. Like, my mom is the true definition of like a superwoman. You know what I mean? And seeing that in my background and knowing the type of work ethic that she put in to make sure I turned out all right is how I'm able to put in the work at the level that I'm putting in currently. Like, she's really a reflection of what you see in me on a daily basis. And if you ever meet her, you will see that. So yeah, grew up in a small town, right here in South Carolina. As I continue to grow, one of the biggest things is, and I kind of go into this a little bit later, but one of the biggest things for me, Tressa, was I truly struggled with confidence when I was younger.
Wow.
Right, I truly struggle. And looking at me today and speaking to me today, you would never believe this, but I was bullied in school. Believe it or not, I struggled with confidence. I struggled with finding identity. I struggled with finding acceptance of myself. Like a lot of your guests, like a lot of your people that you're going to see on here, I ultimately decided to take my life from living in that low spot, living in that lack of confidence spot, and I decided that one day one day this life is not going to be here anymore. One day this life is not going to be here. And at the end of the day, when that dirt goes on top of me, did I give life my all? Or did I let the lack of confidence, the lack of accountability, my lack of trying be the reason I did not go further in life? And I made a decision that was not going to be me. And one day I just decided I'm going to take myself on this journey to greatness. And as I found myself, and as I pulled myself up, and as I elevated myself, and as I grew myself, and as I propelled myself, I said, if I can do this for me, I can do it for others. Their births Ed Speaks Global.
Okay, hold on. Okay, y'all. Ooh, let me get a fruit snack. I said, ooh, listen, y'all. Hit the pause button right now. Get your note. I'm telling y'all, it ain't even been. We ain't even 10 minutes in, and he already throwing some gems. I swear, Deacon Ed, keynote speaker Ed, Coach Ed, like I'm getting chill bumps. I can feel it, y'all. I feel the passion inside of his voice. Woo, Jesus. But anyway, so share a story or experience that pretty much propel you to where you are today. You're convicted to grow more, your resilient story. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
and if you have
yeah,
multiple, or I you know how to do this. I ain't even
yeah,
got to
yeah,
tell you.
yeah, yeah. Nah, Coach Stress. That's a great question. Um, Kind of going back to that same token, what I was already kind of talking about in the first place. um my father wasn't in my life. He came into my life towards the end of his life. Right, he attempted to come in towards the end of his life, which was in like the last 2 or 3 years of him being alive. Maybe 4 years. He connected, called, did what he had to do. But me having that lack of confidence, I never had the confidence to ask those tough questions. Like, towards the end of his life, before he passed, he apologized.
Mm,
He said he was sorry for what he did. But at that time, being young, I'm just like, okay, cool. Okay, cool. But one of the reasons that I try to be the best possible husband, one of the reasons that I go so hard is because knowing that my dad grew up 10 minutes from me, he lived 10 minutes from me and was not there. He would say he was coming to visit, or say he was coming to pick me up and never pick me up. The fact that I was in a place where a really fast jog could have got you there if you needed to. The fact that I wasn't brave enough when I was younger, when he apologized, to ask those tough questions like, yo, tell me why. What's the reason that your first child can be out here and you wouldn't care enough to just say hello? What's the reason that your first child could be here and you wouldn't care enough to say happy birthday? What's the reason that your first child could be here? And so that's why when people ask me why I do what I do, I tell them I do it for the generation that I don't have yet. Because I've seen what it's like for somebody to not take care of their responsibilities. And that will never be me. That will never be me. And my backstory is the pain of someone. And I tell all your viewers right now, all the people watching this right now, If you have some things, some stones that are left unturned, some boxes that are left unchecked, confront those boxes, because later in life, you might not have a chance to. Later in life, it might affect your family. Later in life, it might affect the people you're around. Later in life, it might affect your trajectory. Later in life, it might affect your ability to grow in a high level. Confront those pains, because ultimately, you're just holding yourself back from being convicted to grow. So I want people to understand that my backstory wasn't perfect. I had some loving grandparents. I had a loving mother. Luckily, I turned out to be a pretty good man. But I'm going to let you know that's not everybody's reality. That's not everybody's reality. So that's a little bit of my backstory. When my father passed, I was sitting there and I was at the funeral and I could not show emotion. I didn't
Wow.
cry. I didn't shed a tear. Why couldn't I shed a tear? Because I was still trying to meet the person that I no longer could meet.
Mm.
I was still trying to get to know that person that I knew I couldn't ask those questions to anymore. And it took me a lot of self-work. It took me a lot of time to process what was that, because it plays back in my mind a lot. Everybody's crying, emotional, and I'm just sitting there like, why can't I shed a tear? That's what you're supposed to do at funerals, right? You're supposed to be emotional. The thing is, we read about people every day who pass away, tragedies that happen all the time. And for some reason, it's harder to shed a tear for a stranger. So I tell people, if you have a chance to ask those questions, if you have a chance to make it right, in order for your life, in order for you to feel better, in order for you to be better, for you to get to that next level, you have to be brave enough. You have to be confident enough to ask those tough questions. And that's what I failed to do in my younger life. And that's what propelled me to being the person I am today. I'm not afraid to ask those tough questions anymore. I
What
hope that
age?
answered your question.
What age were you?
17,
Wow.
17,
Young
16,
man.
17. Yeah, I was younger. I was younger, maybe going on 18. I was younger. I was a younger guy. I know that. Again, needing to know the answer to those questions, again, I never know now, right? And I think that's one of the things that stuck with me, but that's another reason why I go so hard, because I never give my kids the chance. When I have them, I never give them the chance to even be able to ask those questions in their mind.
Right,
So I
right.
love it. Hope that
Wow.
answers your question.
No, it did. I mean, I commend you just sharing that, because I know it may not be easy to share. Then it's a lot of young men out there that they need father
Yeah.
figures in their lives.
Right.
How to tie the tie, how to talk to the girls, and
Yeah. Yeah.
how not to hang with the knuckleheads and things like that. And so,
Exactly.
uh, thank God you had a supporting village around
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. And that was so important. That village meant everything to me. And I thank them to this day. You know what I mean? That village meant everything to me. And one particular person I want to go into, something he always told my mother and me. My uncle Coy Washington, God rest him, my uncle Coy Washington always told my mother, that young man is special. Even when I was a child, Tressa, he said, I can see something in that young man, and I don't know what it is, but he is going to be different. He is going to be special. He said this to me so much, to the point where I heard it, but because of my lack of confidence, because of what I was dealing with, I didn't actually believe it until I got to my mid 20s. It
Wow.
took all that time for something, a seed somebody planted in my youth, to bloom into who I am today. It took all that time, Tressa.
Mm,
15 years, 20 years, 21 years to get to the point where I can believe what he's saying now. You know.
right, right.
So that's a little background, a little bit in the back, a little background.
Man, listen. You need to put a book out. I feel the book's coming out of you, man. We're
Yeah,
gonna birth that thing. But like I said, I know in your titles, coach, motivation speaker, entrepreneur, CEO.
yeah,
When did you realize that, or when did you make that pivot to say, you know what? Because we don't start out as entrepreneurs. We may have that
right,
entrepreneurial spirit,
right,
but when did you realize, like, dang, I think I need to be my own boss. I think I
right.
need to go into entrepreneurship.
Yeah, yeah. And I want to say that journey looks different for everybody, right? That journey looks different for everybody. However, your journey of entrepreneurship starts out, for your viewers, for the people watching, trust your process. Stay on your path. Some of us get pushed into entrepreneurship. Some of us go kicking and screaming into entrepreneurship, especially if we know it's something we really want to do and something we admire. But I'll give you my little backstory. Years ago, um, I was engaged to my wife. And we had found a venue. We had got the dress. Well, she had found her dress with her friends. You know what I mean? She had found the dress. We had got the venue, and everything was going great. I was going to work. I was showing up, and something inside of me felt like, man, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe this is not a place for me. But nevertheless, I gave it my best. I gave it my all. One morning, Tressa, 2 weeks before my wedding, I get a call from my district manager of this company I work for. And this is like a Fortune 20 company. And I was a sales manager for them. And I had been a top performing sales leader in the company. I got the awards downstairs to show it. I did everything I thought I could do to continue to grow my career. One day I get a call out of nowhere, 2 weeks or 3 weeks maybe before my wedding, and they say, "Hey Ed, I'm sorry, we're doing some changes in the structure. We're laying off a good amount of people, and I'm sorry, but we've decided you're one of the people that we're gonna cut."
Wow.
And now keep in mind, Tressa, I still owe the venue money. I had put my wife's dress on a credit card. You know what I mean? I think it was like almost $2,000. I had put it on a credit card. I said, you know what? I got a job. I'll pay for it later. We'll get it later. We'll pay for it later. And that day, when I was let go, fired from a job that I felt I had gave my all to, right? That day I was let go from a job from a group of people who knew I was getting married in 2 weeks. That time I got let go from a job and was basically told it was all an algorithm. It was all just the numbers. Your name just popped up. The reason I realized that a company could treat you like this after committing it, and for your security and your future to be tied to a lottery pick for the most part, I told myself, if I can't start entrepreneurship full time, I was going to at least start it part time at that time, because I was going to do whatever it took to make sure that I could provide for my wife. I mean, you got to think about it. When you marry somebody, Tressa, when a man marries a woman, when he takes a woman or a daughter from her dad and says, I'm going to take care of this woman for the rest of my life, imagine 2 weeks before that, my livelihood is taken away from me. And from that point, I told myself I will never rely solely on one income, solely on one thing that is determined by an algorithm or a lottery pick to determine if I'm gonna be able to provide for my wife and for my family. So from that point, I was kind of pushed into growing my own business, pushed into going out and making it happen for myself. So Tressa, for me, I think it was a trial by fire. It kind of just it had to work. It had to work. Like that was it for me. It had to work. One of the things I want to add at the end of that, I had to redefine what was natural for me.
Mm.
Like a lot of us get to a point where we lose out on an opportunity. We lose out on a relationship. We lose out on something that was supposed to be promising for us. And our natural response is to only think of the negatives behind it. I had to retrain my mind to think that naturally good things are happening to me next. Naturally, greatness is being set up for me, and that's why this door is closed. Naturally, great relationships, naturally, great opportunities, naturally, great people are going to be coming into my life, and that's why I'm losing the ones I have. That's why I lost the job I had. That's why I lost everything at that point, went down to zero. I had to do that because naturally I knew I was being set up for a come up.
Mm.
Your
Come
mindset
on.
has to change. And that's what I had to do to make it through that period of my life, Tressa. Honestly, it was rough.
Wow. Wow. Oh, man. Y'all hear that? He said, ooh, you had to lose everything in order to gain something new.
Yeah.
And sometimes God will shift and pivot things where, because we get comfortable,
Mm,
we'll get so comfortable in let's say friendships and
mm,
jobs and even our cities, like where we
mm.
live. It's comfortable. But
Yeah.
sometimes when life be lifing and you got to shake up,
Yo.
and God said, I gotta shake this up because where
Yeah.
I'm about to take you on this next level, it's so much bigger than your zip code.
Yo, that's so powerful, coach. And one of the things for me, you've heard this term before. Your gift will make room for you.
Come on.
You heard that, right? I'm
Yes.
sure a lot of you on here that's heard your gift will make room for you. Tress, I want to ask you a question. When you think about the fact, if you go into a room, right, that's slam packed with stuff, what do you do to make room in there? If you need to put
I
something
move it.
else in there, you
Move
move
it.
some stuff. You pull some stuff out
Get
the way,
rid of some
right?
stuff. Get rid of
Right.
some stuff.
Right. Get rid of some stuff. And watch this. Your gift will make room for you. I used to always think that just meant, hey, if we go hard, if we work hard enough, things just fall in line. Your gift will make room for you. No, 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 no. What I realized was your gift will make room for you. We have to be very selective when we say that, because when you ask your gift to make room for you, the way it
Come
makes
on.
room is to remove things from what's not prospering you right now. Watch this. It might mean removing money from your account so it can later be replaced in triples. So when you get down to zero, remember, you ask your gift to make room for you. It's trying to make room so that you can receive all the abundance that's coming in. When you lose friends, when you no longer communicate with family members, watch this. You ask your gift to make room for you, Tressa. You ask it to make room. So it's removing those negative things, removing those toxic things, removing those unreal beliefs out of your mind, out of your that negativity, that toxicity. It's removing those people so it can make room for you, because that's what you asked for. You ask for greatness to come into your life. And sometimes for greatness to come into your life, your gift has to make room by removing the things that do not work in your life. So be careful when you ask your gift to make room for you, because it just might do it.
Yes. Yes. And you know what? Sometimes you outgrow the circles that you're in.
Come on now.
You outgrow the circles. You trying to fit. Man, people, it's so. What do you say to the people? And I know you probably have been around people that they don't like change,
Mm,
but yet still they want to complain. They sick and tired, but they ain't moving the needle. What would Coach Ed say to those people that's just like to
yeah,
be stagnant and comfortable?
yeah, yeah. The truth of the matter is, coach, most people's words don't align with their actions.
Come on.
Most people's words don't align with their actions. Many times people tell themselves that they want to be better, that they want to be greater, that they want that next level in life. But then as soon as they say it, they hit the couch and watch the newest season of Power. I hope
Well,
I ain't hurting nobody out here. I'm just keeping it real.
hold on, let me get my
I
fruit
hope
snack.
I hope I'm not bothering nobody's soul out here, but I just felt it's necessary to keep it real. People say they want better relationships. People say the next relationship they go into will never be like the last relationship. And it's a guy that's a twin, or a woman that's a twin to the person they kicked out their relationship in the first place. And they asking for different results.
Mm.
They asking for things to change.
It is coming with the word, y'all. Listen, you can't expect results if there's no change. You can't expect results if there's no change. Start changing your mindset and watch your money change. Start changing your mindset and watch your relationships change and your opportunities to change. You want more, but you ain't doing more. You got an old mindset. Baby, listen, start changing. Change the way you think. Change the way you move. Change for the better. Change for the good. Now, this message ain't for everybody, okay? But I need to talk to those who get sick and tired of getting sick and tired of getting sick and tired of getting sick and tired of being broke, sick and tired of being stuck, sick and tired of being unhappy, sick and tired of hanging with dead weight, sick and tired of not leveling up, sick and tired of getting passed up over promotions, sick and tired of not looking their best, sick and tired of not feeling their best, sick and tired of just feeling like everything around them is just chaos. If you sick and tired of being sick and tired, I need you to be convicted to growing, convicted to changing. Keep your butt in one weekend and say, you know what? I can't hang out this weekend because I got to work on my book. I got to work on my business plan. Matter of fact, I need to rest. I need to give my body a break. I need to do some research on how to start this business. And again, this message ain't for those who are content with what they're doing and can work Monday through Friday and go out every weekend. This message ain't for you. But for those who work and complain and then go out on the weekends and then Sundays have a come to Jesus meeting trying to figure out like, oh Lord, I'm tired. I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired. Do something about it. Move the needle. Move the freaking needle. How do you do that? You by doing. Here it is. It is nice outside right now. Trust and believe. Your girl would love to be outside. Like, nice little brunch, maybe a little mimosa. I would love to be outside, but guess what I'm doing? I'm here recording because it got to be done. So, yeah. Sorry, I was giving me a little 30-second window in. Sorry about that.
Tressa, I think we good.
No, but I mean, it's like entrepreneurship is not, sometimes I was just saying this earlier. I was like, when people think of entrepreneurs, some people got it, some people don't, right? But the thing is, there's the pros and cons of entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
I know, like for me, like, and I'll tell anybody when you go out on when you do entrepreneurship, don't just up and quit your job if
Lord,
you don't.
no.
I would say, don't be. 2018, I did take a leap. I took a whole leap. I went all in, but by the grace of God, I was being obedient and I was able to be successful with that. But everybody ain't gonna be able to do that.
Correct.
Now, what I will say that I did learn was that you need to at least have about a year saved up. Because look, when that money started getting funny and the change was getting strange, I said, "Okay, God, I need a miracle right now. I
need something to break through for me right now."
Listen.
Nah, that's super important what you just said, and again, kind of like what you just said. I don't want people to be ashamed of whatever their journey to entrepreneurship looks like, right? Because one of the things about it is, if you're not prepared to jump out there, I like to look at it this way: if we're up 30,000 feet in the sky and we say we're about to jump out of a plane, what sense does it make for you to jump without a parachute and without a second tab to pull it because the first tab failed? So one of the things we have to remember is there's no bravery in jumping out of a plane without a parachute. The bravery is in the action of jumping out the plane, and the smartness comes in you knowing that you're prepared for whatever happens when you jump out that plane, being mentally prepared for what might happen when you jump out that plane. That's what entrepreneurship is. How can I jump out of this plane and be as prepared as possible so I can land as softly as human possible? Because you're going to have some bumps dropping down that road. You're going to have some scrapes. You're going to have some scares. You're going to have some accidents. You're going to have a lot of different things when you decide to jump for what you really want and what your purpose is in life. It's not easy. It's tough. It's scary. It's hard. But at the end of the day, it's worth it because you don't get but one life.
Yeah. And it's sacrifice.
Yes. A lot of entrepreneurs, you'll hear them say, I thought I was going into entrepreneurship to work from like 10 to 3, but I went into entrepreneurship to work from 8 to 12 Monday through Saturday. I had no idea I was giving up working 8 hours for 14 hours a day. A lot of them would tell you that. A lot of the most successful entrepreneurs would tell you that. And it's absolutely true. A lot of people think because they're going into entrepreneurship, hey, I'm going to do this, make my own schedule. No, no, no. The market demands your schedule.
That part.
Your customers, your clientele determines your schedule. When you need to be open, when you need to do business, how often you need to do business. That's what we have to remember. Entrepreneurship is not a straight and narrow journey. It's going to lead you to them 60, 70-hour work weeks sometime. Driving 4 or 5 hours sometime. It's going to lead you there.
Yeah, and how and then plus if you have a family and a wife or a husband, or you got to balance because look, wife you gonna want some me time, husband gonna want some me time, and you like
yes, and rightfully so, right? I mean, you have a family. Like this is your family. These are the people that love you, care for you, but more importantly, these are the people that want your time as well. And it's not selfish. You know what I mean? It's not selfish. I mean, I'm not saying that if you want a certain type of life, you don't allow your partner, you don't allow your people to go out and work and do what they need to do. But what I am saying is proper planning will help make your entrepreneurship journey a lot easier. Plan. Maybe every 2 weeks you plan that Friday night out with your husband, your wife, your spouse, or your significant other. Maybe every quarter y'all plan a little short trip, an hour away, 2 hours away to the mountains or something. You have to be strategic with it because you're gonna work hard, but you gotta play sometime too. It's only fair.
That part. You said proper plan. I forgot whose mastermind I was in. They said proper planning prevents poor piss performance.
Proper planning presents piss poor performance. Prevents piss poor performance. I think it's something like that.
Something like that. It's like
I know what you're talking about. I've heard that before.
Yes. And so Now I know you are a coach. You do a lot
Yeah.
of confidence coaching and leadership and helping people build. Did that stem from when you, like you said, coming up and not having the confidence and
Yeah.
being bullied? Is that was even making you as your one of your passions to say, you know what? I know. How did you build your confidence up? That's the first question. How did you build it up? And then when did you say, you know what? I need to take this and apply it to people that were like me before?
Yeah. 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 The first part was um I guess when did I recognize my confidence was an issue, and when did I decide to make the decision to make the change to become a confident person and help other people, correct?
Yeah. How did you build it back? How did you build it up?
I think for me, and this is about to sound crazy, but just follow me for a minute. The minute I stopped lying to myself and
Mm.
breaking promises to myself, started my first leaf on growing my confidence and becoming a confident person. When I left my hometown and was able to go to college, this was a place I went where nobody knew me. This was a place I went where where I could be brand new. I can reinvent who I wanted to be. If I wanted to be the tough guy, I could be that. If I wanted to be the cool cat, I can be that. If I want to be the intelligent person, I can be that. If I want to be popular, guess what? I could be that. Sometimes you got to change your environments to change your outcomes.
Ooh.
Sometimes we're stuck in the same place because we're stuck in the same places. Like when I got to college and I saw so many people, I met so many friends. This is where I seen extremely confident people, whether it was the frat strolling through the yard, whether it was the cool cat that had all the women, whether it was the cat that had the Jeep with the top off and the doors off. I started to see people really creating themselves in their college days. And I said, wow, what a great opportunity for me to push through the things that were holding me back and become somebody in this life, to become somebody great. I don't have any stereotypes holding me back. I don't have any negative influences holding me back. I don't have any problems holding me back. This is the time that I'm going to choose to stop lying to myself. And when I say lying to myself, how many times, for you watching right now, how many times have you said you want to be serious about your fitness, got in the gym and lied to yourself because it lasted 3 weeks and you gave it up?
Been
Right?
there. Been there, done
How
that.
many times did you say this is going to be my last toxic relationship, and 4 weeks later you meet a guy at the same bar, a woman at the same bar that you met the last toxic guy, and end up in the same situation again? How many times did you tell yourself, I'm going to push myself to get promoted this year? I'm going to do everything it takes to get promoted. And if they can't see my value, I'm going out on my own, or I'm going to find another company. And 6 years later, you still in the same company.
Huh.
How many of us allow comfort to keep us in a place where we can't build confidence? Some of the times you have to tell yourself, my goal is to lose weight, and a way for me to build confidence is to know what I say to myself, I'm speaking the truth. What you say to yourself, you have to build the bridge to speak the truth. When you say you're going to work out 3 days a week, commit yourself to that. And those small commitments make you more confident in the long run. That's what I did. And once I learned how small commitments to yourself help build confidence along with other tools, I implemented this in my life and I said, wow, mentally I'm better.
Huh.
Physically, I'm more fit. My relationships are better. Watch this. I no longer attract the things I don't want to attract anymore.
Ooh. Okay.
I no longer, be careful what you become a magnet to, because you can attract the wrong things. You can attract the wrong relationships just because of who you are. You just because of the environment you live in. You can attract the wrong things and live in a space of negativity thinking it's you, but really it's just what you choose to attract. Most of the time we're creatures of habit, right? So
Uh-huh.
we don't realize that the same things that got us in the situation in the first place is the same thing that's keeping us there. So when it comes to building confidence, I had to realize I had to become what I want to attract. And this is not this low self-esteem, this low confidence, this lack of belief in myself. This is not who I am. This is not who I want to be anymore. So the minute I decided to change it and realize who I really was is when I started attracting people just like me. Most of my friends drive luxury cars. Most of my friends make 6, 7 figures. Most of my friends are extremely confident. Most of my friends believe that they can be more than where they are right now. Even if they're successful, they believe there's more. When I start getting around people that believe there's more because I changed my level of confidence, which attracted confident people, would put me in a realm to become the person I am and grow in my life. That's what changed everything for me. And it can change for you too.
Is that when you found your? Because I know you're a motivational speaker,
Yeah.
and we look you started speaking motivation in the first 3 minutes. Um, but is that when you realize, like, okay, I have a voice to be a speaker to impact others too? You know.
Right, right. I think it was. And you know what's crazy, Tressa? Before I became a coach and before I became a speaker, people would call me. I'm even talking about my management team from other jobs I've worked at. They would come to me like, yeah, man, Ed, I'm having a rough day today, man. Like, give me something good, man. I need something. I need some of that energy. Give me something good, Ed. Even people would call and just say, Ed, what's up, man? I just need some of that good energy from you. And this happened for years, Tressa. People will be like, I just want to be around you. This will happen for years, Tressa, before I decided to be a coach, before I decided to get into speaking. Sometime the gift you have is already inside. You
Mm,
just are not paying attention to the signs that is for you. And even if you're not paying attention to the signs, sometimes you ignore it because you don't think you're worthy of it.
mm,
And that's what I was doing. I was like, man, people are coming to me. They're asking me for advice. My managers are asking me to give them some great energy to start their day out. They're asking me to speak to the team so we can talk about, what needs to happen moving forward and give them a great positive day to start their Saturday or Friday off or whatever we were dealing with. I was always that person. I just did not know or accept that I was that person because what? I was afraid of what other people might think.
yeah, that part.
Yeah, I was
That
afraid.
holds a lot of people are not being themselves. I always say free yourself so you can be yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Free yourself from past hurt, free yourself from people pleasing. Because one of the things I mean, I used to be like that too. Like, what people gonna think?
Yeah, man.
Even from content, I used to like, I don't want to post myself daily because people gonna think I'm doing too much. You hear
Mhm,
me? I'm already putting that seed. Oh,
mhm,
I don't want to post every day. Then I said, wait a minute. I am the brand.
mhm.
I
Yep.
have to. So, and I knew you. I already knew you was confident with when I met you at the conference last year. Man, you was moving. I was like, okay, Ed is like the male version of me. You was working the room.
Yeah, yeah, because ultimately, Tressa, it's our responsibility to own our success.
Yeah,
It's our responsibility to own our happiness, to own our passion, to own the thing that we committed to, the thing that we dedicated to. It's our job to do that. Nobody else can do that but us,
that
you
part.
know? And I just, like I said, yeah, ever since we met at the conference, I said, man, Tressa, she gonna be somebody. She's special. She's different. She's gonna be somebody. And my wife knows when I meet people, I don't just want to meet the person. I want to meet the soul of the person. So when
Awesome.
I shake hands, when I speak to people for the first time, I like to feel if their soul is right. I like to feel if their spirit is right. And I can automatically feel it when I meet a person. That's just God's gift that he's giving me. I can automatically feel it. And
Mm,
yours is right. Yours is
thank
right,
you.
Tressa.
No, I
Absolutely.
appreciate you. Like, I just appreciate you being you. Just even conversations we've had offline, just me talking
Yeah.
and getting advice from you, and even some coaching from you. Even as a coach, I tell people, don't your pride, move your pride to the side. It kills me sometimes when I see people. Of course, everybody want to be coaches and speakers and consultants,
Yep.
but
Yep.
you can still be coachable.
Yep.
You
Absolutely.
you still be coachable. And so I just appreciate you, the times I did come to you and talk to you, just having that access and stuff. And speaking of which, what's going on for Ed in 2024? What's coming up?
So we got a few things coming up with ASP's Global. Walking in Confidence. I got a virtual A virtual webinar, Walking in Confidence. That's going to be April 14th. I'm going to give you the 6 keys to building ultimate confidence. I'm going to give you the 6 keys to building confidence and becoming a better, more confident person and walking in your power. I'm going to give you the 6 keys to doing that. The 6 keys that I use personally and the 6 keys that I've given to clients to actually show them how to be more confident in life. I'm going to give these on the webinar on April 14th. On June 1st, I am having the Ignite Growth Entrepreneurship Mastermind here in Columbia, South Carolina. And that's going to be limited to about 40 people that's going to be able to enter this particular mastermind. Next year, I might make it a little larger, but it's going to be 40 people this year. And what's going to be cool about this is I'm going to have a 6 7 figure campsite chat, which is going to be entrepreneurs that are making 6 and 7 figures a year in their business. They're going to be giving you game on what it takes to be successful. They're going to be giving you all the secrets, all the gems, everything it took for them to make, from hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars in their business. They're going to tell you everything it took to be successful. I have someone coming in from the banking industry. She's going to tell you what it takes to get your business bank ready, to get funding, to get loans. I have someone coming in. She's a branding expert. She's worked with people on a client list that I couldn't even tell you because it's that exclusive. She's going to come in and she's going to talk about what it takes to build a indestructible brand, what it takes, marketing, branding. She's going to talk about all of that with you all. I have Joe Caraway. He's going to be coming from Raleigh, North Carolina down, and he's going to tell you what it takes to have the mindset to win in this life. We have so much stuff lined up for that particular conference. I'm so excited. I mean, that particular mastermind. I'm so excited for all the value that's going to be provided to the people that come there. I guarantee it's going to be worth every single dollar for those who attend that mastermind. You're going to walk away with so many gems, not just from people that are entrepreneurs. We're talking about people that are successful entrepreneurs, very successful. They're going to show you how they did it at this mastermind and what you can do to have that one-on-one time with them and to get into a space where you can win in life in your journey of entrepreneurship. So again, that's June 1st and April 14th. We got Walking in Confidence. And I got a few more things cooking up I'm working on. So we'll get into all that later, Tressa.
Listen.
We bring me back for a later time on that. We got some other
You
things
can
working.
come. You can come back anytime. Like, no, seriously, we might just have to do. Like I said, one of the things with the YouTube channel, I'm going to start doing live coaching sessions over there. So
Yeah, I
I
love
would
it.
love to have you back and doing a live coaching session because you do come with a lot of gems, and you know you're
Yeah.
offering two different events. One for somebody who needs to ignite and build that confidence. I'm
Yeah.
telling you,
Yeah.
when you got that confidence, you
Yo.
walk different, you talk different,
Yeah.
you dress different. That is that confidence, like Deion Sanders said, don't confuse my confidence with cockiness. It's just
Woo, come on now.
you know what I'm saying? So it's
Come on
like,
now.
but I love that you're doing that. And then the one on June 1st is for entrepreneurs. And I'm gonna tell you this
Yes.
for those listening, I always say, surround yourself on the level that you're trying to go. It is so
Absolutely.
important that you get in the rooms. It is so important. If you think you're gonna build a business off family and friends, and I'm not saying family and friends won't support you, but let's just keep it real. Majority of them are not your key customer or your key client. And so it's so important to put yourself where you see yourself, but get around other like-minded individuals that really
Yes.
you want to go on the level. So that's why I'm in the speakers community because I was like, I need to be around other like-minded speakers on the level that I'm trying to go. So for my
Absolutely.
entrepreneurs, starting out or maybe, want more information, you don't want to miss this event. Like, is it going to be virtual tickets too, or no?
Um, so this one I decided not to do virtual tickets, but I am working on possibly doing something virtual later this year.
Okay.
I am working on maybe doing some type of 2 day event virtual later this year. It just won't be right now. But this one that's in person, I want it to be small, I want it to be intimate, and I want it to be very impactful for these people that's going to be in this particular room. But yes, I am going to do pretty much the same thing virtually down the road. But we do have some things coming virtually because a lot of people have reached out to me and it's like, hey, dude, I wish you would do more things virtually. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I am trying to tailor to that. And I'm a little old school in a way. I love in-person events. I'm sure you the same. I love to connect with people in person, but I understand the world is changing. access is changing. So with
Right.
that being said, one of the things we know in business, if you don't keep up, you get left behind. So I
Right.
understand that there is going to be a need for virtual conferences and things. So I'm working on things like that,
Yeah. And
and I
also
keep you
too,
updated.
guys, listen, if you are listening on audio, please make sure you follow Ed Chappell on IG at Ed Speaks Global. Ed Speaks with an S at the end. Speaks Global.
Mhm.
Also, you can go to www.edspeaksglobal.com. Please check him out, y'all. And he also offers one-on-one. Um, I think you do both one-on-one and group coaches. So maybe
Yes,
you have an organization of leaders who just maybe just need some confidence building and things like that. He could do a group coaching for your organization, or maybe you say, you know what, you just one-on-one and you want that personal development, professional
hmm
development. He will work with you. So I definitely suggest go to his website, or if you follow him on IG, he'll have his link in his bio. And make sure, listen, y'all, when y'all follow him, for those who are listeners of my podcast, my supporters, through audio or video, whether you watch it on YouTube, go to his content and don't just follow him. Find one of his content posts or reels and go in. And I want you to comment hashtag convicted to grow. Again,
absolutely.
tag hashtag convicted to grow. And for those who do that, he'll let me know. And then maybe we'll do something live session where we'll take all those names and put them in a pile or whatever. And I'll offer something on my end as far as my coaching services, and as well as he may do the same thing. And so
Surely will. Too
please
easy.
make sure you do hashtag convicted to grow, because I definitely think you bring a lot of value. And I think when people's confidence are there, they feel more confident in front of the camera, doing content in their business. Because as an entrepreneur, you got to have confidence.
Absolutely.
One of the
You have
biggest
to have
mistakes
it.
One of the biggest mistakes I see when it comes to entrepreneurs, you have great ideas, you have the great product, you have a great service, but you're not even promoting yourself. You're not even standing in front of camera. You're supposed to be the CEO, not just the chief executive officer, but the creative executive officer. You are the brand ambassador of your vision. So if you don't believe in your vision and have that confidence to say, hey, this is who I am, this is my brand,
Mhm.
how do you expect other people to invest and to buy into your brand? Okay.
Absolutely.
Um, Anything else you want to add before I give you my last question?
No, no. I mean, ultimately, if you guys are watching this right now, if you're following Coach Tressa on her journey, like, stick with her on this, because trust me when I tell you, she's coming to bring value. She's really working hard to get these guests on here to take time out of her day and her schedule to make sure that she pours into you guys as her family, as her, as the people who are starting the base of her following, who are starting the base of showing love to this podcast. Just do everything you can to make sure Convicted to Grow goes straight to the top, because ultimately it's only going to benefit you, because there's more things she can do for you, more things she can do to promote you, to allow you to come and experience her in person and virtually. And being Convicted to Grow, I mean, I just think it's the most beautiful name I've heard for a podcast. And trust me, I can't wait to see it go straight to the top. Anything I can do to help you, let me know.
Oh, when we have the Convicted to Grow conference at the National Harbor,
Too
because I'm
easy.
manifesting that.
Too
Oh,
easy.
trust me, you're gonna be on stage with me.
Too easy.
I'm asking God to give me the right people to make this event, this conference grow, and because we build
Too
here.
easy.
So, last question. I ask every guest this question at the end. In 60 seconds or less, what does Convicted to Grow mean to you?
I love it. Convicted to Grow to me means being authentic to your journey, being authentic to what you want to be, who you want to be, what you want to achieve, and more importantly, being committed to the process of what it takes to get there. That's when I truly know if you are convicted to grow. And that's what it means to me.
Yeah.
What a beautiful title. And before I get out of here, right? Before we wrap this up, for those of you who might be watching right now, and
Come on.
you're trying to understand where your place in life is. You're trying to understand what you have to give to the world. Let me remind you That the sooner you find it, the sooner you live in it, the sooner you multiply your greatness here on earth, there are other people who freedom, there's other people's who purposes, there's other people who have things that are attached to your purpose, to your calling. Your level of execution not only affects you, it affects your family, it affects your wife, it affects your kids, it affects your husband, it affects those around you so they can be empowered to become the best version of themselves through seeing you being the best version of yourself. So get convicted to grow and start today, not tomorrow. Have a good day.
Oh, so y'all, I might have to get you to do my infomercial in between.
Not the infomercial.
Just send me, just invoice me. Just invoice me, because that sounded. Ooh, I need that as a voice talk. You do voice talk,
I
wow.
might can do a little something, Tressa. We talk about it. We talk about it. We get it right.
Y'all heard it
We
here
get it
first,
right.
right? Listen, y'all. Thank y'all once again for watching another episode
Absolutely.
of the Convicted to Grow podcast. Listen, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you go out and comment, like, share it. You just never know who it may touch and who may be encouraged and inspired by it. Again, make sure you follow my friend Ed Chappell at Ed Speaks Global. You can also go to his website, www.edspeaksglobal.com. You can also go to my website, www.tressamanns.com. Should you need to book me as a motivational speaker or a workshop facilitator to come in and do workshops, I too, confidence building, leadership building, how to get over imposter syndrome, women empowerment. So if you need to book me, you can go out there as well. So we're both available, just so you know.
Absolutely.
And until then, remember, growth is a daily thing. Free yourself so you can be yourself. Love you.
Peace. Have a good one.